Good offense, good defense, and some key plays.
As off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. The Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
Le'Veon Bell. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Yeah, he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
Minnesota had a very optimistic vision of what they would do on offense. Quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. That led to them scrambling throughout the season to try and fit together their offense, try to put the running game and a new passing game together. And instead of having a big year, they finished 28th overall in total offense.
It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. First and 10. Here's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Ten yards still left on 2nd down. Throwing again. Rodgers. Bringing it in. Jackson left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. On first down, Rodgers. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A nice gain of 21 yards. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Rodgers now on first down. And it's caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Gary Barnidge, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. On the return now, it's Josh Huff. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 24 carries, 103 in the yardage department.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. To throw again, Newton. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Second down following the run. They fake the give. Newton. It's complete to Jeremy Curley. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
That definitely sets up a much more difficult third down.
And you figure 2nd and 2, one they thought they could pick up. Now you're facing 3rd and 4.
Yeah, got to give the front 7 a lot of credit for making that play. I'm just starting to wonder, partner, is 2nd and short also a throwing down in the NFL now?
And that is incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. And Frank's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now at 6-3. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or 2 shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Here's Rodgers throwing on 1st down. Now he's going to send this one deep. Looking for his tight end, Witten, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions and not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know, some big guy, we're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Fresh set of downs here. The shotgun snap for Newton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Back to the air, Newton on second down. And that'll be incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee, and it's third down.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
Here's Newton. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. And Frank's kick is good. And that will tie things up at 6-6. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing in too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
They completed the screen, but one of the things you worry about is can the quarterback get rid of the ball before he's actually tackled? So your offensive linemen have to hold up the rushers a little bit because you want to make sure you keep your guy's jersey clean throughout the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Rodgers to throw on second down. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And he'll be... Rodgers now on first down. Looking for his tight end, Witten, and it's intercepted. It's the rookie corner from Iowa, Desmond King. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
line not helping him much. Here's Newton now on second down. They find some open field here. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On first down, it's Newton. Call it a loss of 12 that time. And it'll be a second and long. On second down, Freeman. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a third and long situation coming up. The Bucs on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be third and a mile. From the gun, here's Newton. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Frank's kick is good. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
Not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though this offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator?
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 36. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Following the interception, here's Newton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And Frank's kick is good. And they double their lead, pushing it up now to 12-6. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first throw. Back some confidence.
See what happens. Going right side, he has Witten. And he's going to be out of bounds right at the 40. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind. to beat guys to the football and getting your toes.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And this is caught. It's Cooper. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a first and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game for them to get downfield that quickly. And now first and goal, expect them to tackle right here on this play.
And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's second down.
That gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it. All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination. But the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you.
And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Michael Brockers in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Chris Baker in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And taken right on the 30. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jonathan Babineau in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards, and that'll lead here to a third down.
in today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yards.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him up.
There he goes, Amari Cooper. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Amari Cooper, his second touchdown on the season, and the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Meanwhile, on the NFL scoreboard, a game going on in Chicago, and the Steelers there out to an early lead. Drew Brees with 2 first-half touchdown passes. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And out now come the Vikings. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
The Cowboys' all-time receptions leader, Jason Witten, the intended target, and it's third down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's Marquette King now. On for his second punt. He takes... And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. To throw on second down is Newton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Terrell Suggs from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for...
Alshon Jeffrey, past the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Alshon Jeffrey, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Christian Kirksey coming with pressure. He drops him on the blitz for a loss of 12.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
319.
On second down, here's Rodgers. And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 27. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
Almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Now a play fake here on first down. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
On second and 10, Newton. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Play action. It's Newton. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down inbounds, tried to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really?
Yeah, that he is.
How about that? What about Young Davis?
No, it did not. It did not cross.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stopped right there.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together. I think he might have turned it on us too.
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Now it's the backup Fitzpatrick. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. 3rd and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. And it's a Buccaneers touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Now a 2nd down throw for Fitzpatrick. Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one as a receiver is got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got him.
Now Bell, and able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and with a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop it. Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
First carry of the game here for Matt Asiata. And he'll get this down. Only to the 18.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Fitzpatrick. He finds Bolden. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. The give is to Bell. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
This is where you need to rely on your offensive line, and you tell the person carrying the football, no dilly-dallying around, no trying to hit the home run. Just hit the hole hard and get in there for a first down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now Bell. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Le'Veon Bell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to get a score back. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive lineman.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts.
He's got a man complete. A gain of 39 that time. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
It's a give to Freeman running right. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 3rd down, Newton, and some room to work. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a 1st down. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Here's Riddick. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Le'Veon Bell. It's a foot race. He's at the 30, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Le'Veon Bell, his second touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again. We get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good, too.
Nice. Over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. It'll be a loss of a yard, and 3rd and about 13.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation. 4th quarter, they're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he goes out of across the 40-yard line. Needed 13, they got 14 on 3rd down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Freeman again. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game. That has to drive a coach crazy.
And not much run.